Lieutenant Marcus Vale sat nervously in the large conference room of the starship Endeavour. Around him, many alien representatives gathered, their eyes full of curiosity and suspicion. Marcus was part of the Earth delegation sent to negotiate peace with the rebellious alien faction from the planet Zira. The starship's walls gleamed with cold metal and glowing lights. In the middle of the room stood the alien queen herself, Ziria. She was tall, with skin that shimmered like dark stars and eyes that burned bright green. Her long hair moved slightly as if alive. Her presence filled the room with power, and all eyes were on her. Ziria was known far and wide as a fierce leader. Her people had fought against the Galactic Empire for many years, refusing to bow down. Now she was here to talk with Earth's leaders. The galaxy hoped that peace could come. Marcus cleared his throat, trying to find the right words. He was new to diplomacy, but believed in humanity's ability to build bridges. He wanted to make a good impression. His palms were sweaty, but his voice stayed steady. "Your Majesty," Marcus began, bowing slightly, "we come with respect and hope for peace between our worlds." Ziria's eyes narrowed. "Peace," she said coldly. "You say peace, but your empire has supported those who destroy my people." Marcus swallowed. The room grew tense. Before he could think more, he blurted out nervously, You look very attractive." The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. The room went silent. Marcus's face turned bright red. He quickly looked away, feeling as if the ground could open and swallow him whole. He had made a terrible mistake. At the worst possible moment. Ziria stared at him, her green eyes wide with surprise. For a moment, the coldness melted away, replaced by something unexpected, a flicker of amusement. The other delegates looked shocked. A few whispered quietly to each other. The strict rules of diplomacy had been broken, and everyone waited for the Queen's reaction. Ziria took a slow step toward Marcus, her expression unreadable. "Lieutenant Marcus Vale," she said softly, "you speak with little thought. Your words are dangerous." Marcus swallowed again. I'm sorry, Your Majesty. It was not meant as disrespect." "No," Ziria replied, her voice still low but with a strange warmth. "You spoke truth." Without knowing it, few dared to do that in my presence. Marcus blinked, unsure what to say. Ziria turned to her advisors, then back to Marcus. "Perhaps," she said, "there is more courage in you than I first thought." The tension in the room shifted. The alien queen's usual sternness was replaced by a curious smile. Marcus felt a spark of hope. Ziria raised her hand, signaling the meeting to continue. She spoke to the council. "Let us move forward. Earth's lieutenant has reminded me that honesty can be powerful, even when unexpected." The discussions resumed, but now with a new energy. Marcus noticed Ziria watching him from time to time, her expression softer, almost playful. After the meeting, Marcus was escorted to a smaller chamber. Ziria followed, surprising everyone. "I want to speak with you, Marcus," she said quietly. "Not as a queen, but as someone who seeks truth." Marcus nodded, heart pounding. In the quiet room, Ziria looked at him with eyes full of challenge and something else, perhaps respect. "You have shaken the usual rules," she said. "In my world, that is dangerous. But it also opens doors," Marcus smiled, feeling the weight of this strange moment. "Why did you say it?" Ziria asked. "The compliment. It was unexpected." Marcus shrugged. "I didn't mean to offend, I was nervous, but I believe humans are honest in ways others are not. We say what we feel." Ziria's smile grew. "Honesty is rare among leaders. Perhaps that is why you are interesting." The two stood in silence, a connection forming across worlds. Outside the chamber, the galaxy waited to see what would come next. A simple mistake had turned into something powerful. Marcus did not yet know what lay ahead, but he was ready to face it. After the unexpected meeting on the Endeavour, Marcus found his world changed. The alien queen, Ziria, had not only accepted his awkward compliment, but had also invited him to join her on a secret mission. It was a dangerous offer, but Marcus knew this was a chance to prove himself and help bring peace. The ship's corridors felt colder now as whispers followed Marcus wherever he went. Some crew members looked at him with doubt. How could a human lieutenant work so closely with the rebellious queen? But Marcus ignored the murmurs. His focus was on Ziria and the mission ahead. Ziria waited for him in a private shuttle bay. Her presence was commanding, yet there was a hint of something softer when she looked at Marcus. "Are you ready?" she asked simply. Marcus nodded. "I want to help." They boarded the shuttle, leaving the safety of the Endeavor. The journey to Zira's home planet was short but tense. Outside the windows, stars streaked past as the shuttle slipped through space. Ziria broke the silence. "You must understand, Marcus. My people have suffered for many years. The Empire's control is harsh. We fight not just for freedom, but for survival." Marcus listened carefully. He had read reports about the rebellion, but hearing Ziria's words made it real. She was not just a queen. She was a leader carrying the hopes of her people. The shuttle landed in a hidden rebel base deep in a mountain valley. Inside, the air was thick with urgency. Rebels moved quickly, preparing for a new battle. Ziria introduced Marcus to her council of commanders. They eyed him warily, unsure if an Earthling could be trusted. Marcus stood tall and spoke with respect. "I want to share what Earth technology can do to help your fight." One commander, a tall alien with silver hair named Jarek, stepped forward. "Words are easy. Actions prove worth." Marcus nodded. "Then let me show you." Over the next days, Marcus worked with the rebels, helping to improve their communication systems and defenses using Earth tech. He faced many challenges: language, barriers, distrust, and the constant threat of Empire spies, but Ziria stayed close, watching him carefully. Occasionally, she would ask questions or offer advice. Their conversations grew deeper, moving beyond strategy to their personal beliefs and hopes. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Ziria invited Marcus to walk with her. "You are different from the others," she said quietly. "You do not hide behind fear or pride." Marcus looked at her. "I think humanity has learned that honesty and courage matter. We have made mistakes, but we believe in trying." Ziria smiled. "That is why I accepted your words, even when they surprised me. You remind me that sometimes the strongest power is being true to oneself." Their walk was interrupted by an alarm. The Empire had discovered the base. Chaos erupted. Rebels shouted orders and rushed to defense stations. Marcus and Ziria raced to the command center. Ziria's voice was fierce. "Prepare for attack. Protect our people at all costs." Marcus quickly worked the controls, using Earth technology to strengthen shields. The base trembled as enemy ships fired. In the heat of battle, Marcus saw Ziria fight with skill and bravery. She was not just a queen, but a warrior. The enemy forces were strong, but Marcus's quick thinking helped turn the tide. He directed rebel fighters using a new communication system, confusing the Empire's attack. After hours of fighting, the Empire ships retreated. The rebels had won, for now. Breathing heavily, Ziria looked at Marcus. "You saved many lives today. You have proven your courage." Marcus smiled, feeling proud but also humble. The victory was important, but the war was far from over. Ziria knew they needed more help. That night she sat with Marcus, speaking softly. "Your people have great potential. Together we can change the future, but you must decide if you are willing to stand with us, fully." Marcus thought deeply. This was no longer just a mission, it was a choice about who he wanted to be. "I am ready," he said firmly. "For your people, and for a better galaxy." Ziria's eyes shone with respect. "Then welcome to the rebellion, Marcus. This is only the beginning." As dawn broke over the mountains, a new alliance was born. Two worlds, once strangers, now united by courage and hope. Marcus felt a new strength inside him. The accidental compliment had opened a door, and he was ready to walk through it no matter what came next. The days after the battle were tense but full of new hope. Marcus was now a trusted part of the rebel group. He had earned respect not only from Ziria but also from many commanders. Yet the real test of their alliance was still ahead. The rebel base was hidden deep inside the mountains of Zira's planet. From here, they planned their next move against the Galactic Empire. Marcus spent hours learning about the alien technology and culture. Ziria, too, took time to understand Marcus's world. Their conversations grew longer and more personal. One morning, Marcus sat in the war room, studying maps and plans. Ziria entered quietly. "We must strike soon," she said. "The Empire is gathering forces near the capital. If we wait, they will crush us." Marcus looked up, concern in his eyes. "But our fighters are fewer and less equipped." Ziria nodded. "That is why we must use what you bring, the technology from Earth." Marcus smiled. "I have been working on a new device that can disrupt their communication networks. If we can cut their orders, it could give us the advantage." Ziria's eyes sparkled. "Then we will strike together. Your technology and our spirit." In the following days, Marcus and the rebel engineers worked side by side. They built and tested the device, small but powerful. The tension in the base was high. Everyone knew the risks. During a quiet moment, Ziria approached Marcus. "You have changed the way my people see humans," she said softly. "Before, we thought Earthlings were weak and soft, but you have shown strength and heart." Marcus laughed lightly. "We are not perfect, but we believe in fighting for what is right." Ziria smiled, but her eyes grew serious. "The Empire will not go easy. They have spies everywhere." Suddenly, alarms blared. The base was under attack again, this time a stealth force trying to steal the new device. Marcus and Ziria rushed to the control center. The rebels fought fiercely, but the enemy was skilled. Marcus quickly activated the communication disruptor. A pulse spread across the area, confusing the enemy forces. Ziria took command, leading a counterattack. She moved with grace and power, inspiring the fighters around her. The battle was intense, but the rebels held their ground. The stealth force was forced to retreat. After the fight, Marcus and Ziria stood together, catching their breath. "You saved us again," Ziria said, her voice proud. Marcus shook his head. "We saved each other." The moment between them was charged but unspoken. As days passed, the alliance between Marcus and Ziria grew stronger. They learned from each other. Ziria taught Marcus about her people's history and values, while Marcus shared stories about Earth and its people. One evening, Ziria invited Marcus to her private chamber. "There is something I must tell you," she said quietly. "Our fight is not only against the Empire. There are those within my own people who do not trust outsiders." Marcus nodded. "I understand. Trust must be earned." Ziria looked at him seriously. "Some may try to stop us, but with your help, I believe we can unite the rebels and bring real change." Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "We will face whatever comes, together." Their bond had grown beyond allies. It was a partnership forged in battle and hope. The day of the planned strike arrived. The rebels moved swiftly toward the Empire's capital. Marcus carried the communication disruptor, ready to use it at the critical moment. Ziria led the charge, her voice strong and fearless. As they approached the enemy's defenses, Marcus activated the device. The Empire's communication faltered, causing confusion and delays. The rebels took advantage, breaking through the defenses with courage and precision. Inside the capital, the battle raged. Marcus and Ziria fought side by side, their teamwork flawless. Finally, the Empire's forces began to fall back. The rebels had won a great victory, but the war was not yet over. That night, as the stars shone over the liberated city, Marcus and Ziria stood together on a rooftop. "We have done what many thought impossible," Ziria said softly. "But our journey is just beginning." Marcus smiled. "We will face the future as one." Their alliance, born from an accidental compliment, had grown into a powerful force, one that could change the fate of the galaxy. The victory in the Empire's capital brought hope to the rebels, but it was only the beginning. The Galactic Empire was still strong, and it would not give up its control easily. Marcus and Ziria knew that the final battle was coming, a fight for freedom that would decide the future of many worlds. Back at the rebel base, preparations began in full force. The fighters repaired their ships, restocked weapons, and trained for the war ahead. Marcus worked closely with the engineers, improving their weapons and communication systems. Ziria led with fierce determination, inspiring her people to stand strong. One evening, Marcus and Ziria met in the command center to discuss their plan. "The Empire will send its full fleet to crush us," Ziria said, her voice steady. "We must be ready." Marcus nodded. "Our new technology gives us an edge. The disruptor can confuse their ships, but we need to strike quickly and precisely." Ziria's eyes burned with resolve. "Then we attack their main stronghold. If we break their power there, the Empire will fall." The rebels agreed on the plan. The next day, the fleet moved out, flying through space toward the Empire's heart. The tension was thick. Every pilot and soldier knew the risks. But they fought, for freedom and for their homes. As the fleets met, the battle began with a roar. Explosions lit up the stars. Ships weaved and dodged laser fire. The Empire's forces were large and well-armed. Marcus worked the disruptor, sending pulses to scramble enemy communications. Confusion spread in the Empire fleet, giving the rebels openings to strike. Ziria led the charge in her own ship, flying boldly through enemy lines. Her skill was unmatched. She inspired her fighters to press forward, but the Empire was cunning. They had a secret weapon, a massive battle station that could destroy entire fleets. As the rebels approached, the battle station fired its powerful beams. Ships were destroyed, and the rebels faltered. Marcus and Ziria knew they had to act fast. "We must destroy that station," Ziria shouted through the comms. Marcus quickly scanned for weak points. "There's a control core inside. If we can get a strike team in, we can disable it." Ziria turned to her best fighters. "Prepare for a ground assault. Marcus, you will lead." Marcus felt the weight of responsibility but did not hesitate. He gathered a small team and boarded a transport ship headed for the battle station. Inside, the station was a maze of metal corridors and flashing lights. Enemy guards patrolled the halls. The team moved carefully, using stealth and skill to avoid detection. Marcus's heart pounded as they approached the control core. Suddenly, alarms blared. They had been spotted. The fight was fierce. Marcus's team used their training and Earth technology to hold off the guards. Marcus himself faced a powerful enemy commander but managed to outsmart him with quick thinking. Finally, they reached the core. Marcus set the explosives, counting down the seconds. "Now!" he shouted as the team rushed back. The station exploded in a massive fireball, shaking the battle outside. With the battle station destroyed, the Empire's fleet lost coordination. The rebels pressed their advantage, pushing the enemy back. In the final moments, Marcus and Ziria fought side by side on the battlefield, their trust and teamwork unbreakable. When the Empire's forces retreated, cheers erupted across the rebel. Fleeted Ziria turned to Marcus, her face shining with victory. "Today we have won freedom." Marcus smiled, tired but proud. "Together we made the impossible possible." The war was over, but the cost was high. Many lives were lost, and the galaxy was forever changed. Back on Zira's planet, the rebels celebrated their victory. Ziria addressed her people. "We have fought for our future, and now it is ours to build," she said. "With Earth as our ally, we will create a new era of peace and hope." Marcus stood beside her, feeling the weight of what they had achieved. As the stars shone brightly overhead, Marcus thought back to the moment when he had accidentally said, "You look very attractive." That simple mistake had sparked a journey that changed everything. Now, with the Empire defeated, a new chapter was beginning. For Ziria's people, for Earth, and for the galaxy. The battle for freedom had ended, but the work to build a new future was just beginning. The galaxy was no longer under the Empire's iron rule, and the people of Zira looked to their queen, Ziria, for guidance and hope. Beside her stood Marcus. "Vale, the human lieutenant whose accidental words had changed the course of history. In the days after the victory, the rebel base buzzed with activity. Soldiers, engineers, and leaders worked together to rebuild their world and forge new alliances. Earth's technology and knowledge were shared openly, helping to restore what was lost during years of war. Ziria walked through the halls, greeting her people with warmth and pride. She had changed too. Her eyes now held a new light, a mix of strength and hope. When she met Marcus, she smiled genuinely, no longer the distant queen, but a partner ready to face the future. One afternoon, Marcus joined Ziria in the council chamber. They reviewed plans for rebuilding cities and establishing peaceful trade routes. Leaders from many planets had come to offer their support, inspired by the rebels' success. "We must not forget the cost," Ziria said quietly. "Many gave their lives so we could stand here today." Marcus nodded. "And we must build a future worthy of their sacrifice." As they worked, their friendship deepened. They shared stories, dreams, and fears, two very different people united by a shared goal. Their bond became a symbol of hope for both their worlds. One evening, as the twin suns set over Zira's mountains, Marcus and Ziria stood together outside the council building. "Do you ever regret that moment?" Marcus asked softly. "When I said those words by accident," Ziria laughed, a sound like music. "Not at all. It was unexpected, but it was real. It reminded me that even in war, there is room for truth and connection." Marcus smiled. "I never imagined it would lead to all this." "Neither did I," she replied. "But sometimes, the smallest moments change everything." Their peaceful moment was interrupted by a message from Earth's leaders. They wished to formalize an alliance, to build a new galactic community based on trust and cooperation. Ziria and Marcus prepared for a historic meeting aboard the starship Endeavor. Leaders from many worlds gathered, eager to create a future, free from war. During the ceremony, Ziria spoke with pride. "Today we choose peace," she said. "We choose unity, and we choose hope." Marcus stood by her side, proud and ready for the challenges ahead. After the ceremony, Ziria and Marcus walked through the starship's observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly before them, a reminder of all the worlds waiting to join their vision. "Where do we go from here?" Marcus asked. "Forward," Ziria said simply. Together, the galaxy had been forever changed by a simple, honest moment, an accidental compliment that opened the door to a new era. Marcus looked at Ziria, and in her eyes, he saw the future, a future where courage, truth, and unity could overcome even the greatest darkness, a future worth fighting for.